Hey guys, we are here with Blaze this afternoon. Blaze and I are out in a different neighborhood today, taking a walk together. I had to go take another client's dogs for a walk, so I decided to take him with me and go for a walk as well. So, since we just got out of the car and he is extra excited since he doesn't know where we are, I wanted to start filming right away to show you how you have to keep control of him right off the bat. If you start giving him any leniency right away in the beginning to kind of just like go bananas, he's going to take that and run with it. So it's really important that you give him structure and guidance to make sure you're letting him know this is what I need you to do. It shouldn't be a question mark on it. Like, can you want to go this way? Right? It should be, come, we're going this way, we're going that way. You need to follow my lead. So we are using transitional, and he's doing a really good job as far as pressure and release goes. You can see as soon as I add pressure, he sits and pressure releases immediately. Yep. Now the whole goal behind loose leash healing is to have a loose leash. Right? So this should always just be resting on your fingertips, and it should be just enough that you can communicate with him in times like that where there was a car coming. You're going to use these pops to communicate, hey, pay attention, or basically to say, like, don't do that, right? Pay attention. So I like to think of it like a traffic light, right? So that's our yellow light. That means slow down, pay attention, right? This is our red light. We stop moving, pressure on, he sits, pressure off. Now you can already see it's starting to slip. See how his silver sleep, that should be up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust here and here. Now remember in the beginning I wasn't even able to do this without pausing the video. Now I'm able to do it with the transitional on everything. The mouthing is so much better. He is not mouthy with me at all anymore. Even, like getting all close with him and everything. Normally, he used to be like super mouthy, and now he isn't. Yep. Right, so we start moving, I say heel, right? If he goes a little bit too far ahead, especially in new areas, we're going to do red lights. More red lights are going to be basically frustrating for him because his goal is to keep moving. And if you keep making him stop every single time he gets just slightly ahead of you, like he's ahead of me right now, right? I'm ahead of him. Okay, right now I'm ahead of him. Right now he's ahead of me. So if I were to say heel right now and start moving forward, he's already taking the lead. So right off the bat, you want to make sure, right? So he tried to get up and I reapplied pressure. So really making sure you are following through and being a strong leader with your slip lead is going to make him respect you a lot more. And with a shepherd, you have to gain his respect. You have to make sure he understands that you are his person. And when he's real, I mean, he's a shepherd for sure. He will he sticks by your side when he's like, you're my person. And he's really smart. He really gets it. He's a young shepherd. He's got a lot going on in his head. So you have to give him this mental stimulation in order to really have him thrive in what he is as a breed, right? Heel. So when we start moving right away in the beginning, see how right now my slip lead went straight? Red light. Right, and that's frustrating. See how he kind of he slapped his lips, smacked his lips. It's frustrating him. Heel. So right there, he's ahead. Yep. So now this time I'm going to turn. See, he didn't even notice that I turned. But if I choke up on the leash, see what happens, right? We can't have any solid pressure on this leash. If he has solid pressure and he's moving forward, see how he's wigging his head and backing up and all of that, those are all signs of no, right? Pressure means your butt hits the ground. That's it. If there is ever pressure on this leash, adjust that again. Lower so it doesn't move so much. If there is ever any pressure on this leash, that means that you guys are not healing, right? Yep. So I just let it sit on my fingertips. Use your knees to turn. See, if I turned right now, we get all bumped into each other, right? So I'm going to start making other turns. See how he's behind me? Still behind me. And I use the yellow light there. Now he's starting to realize, oh, she's doing that thing where she does all these turns and all this crazy stuff, right? That's what you have to do with a dog like him. All right, so I gave him a pop. Now he's just slightly behind me, enough that if I make a left turn now, at least he's following with me. See, I have zero pressure on. That's your goal. So right now he's ahead of me. So I can either stop, I can either pop, or I can change directions, right? So you have to follow through with one of those methods. Heel. No pressure. Another thing is you do not want to make sure that you, when you say heel, that you pull him to start moving. That's a big thing that people in general just happen to do. To adjust this. Come here, smooch. Is they want to pull their dog to start moving. Now you have to remember, pressure means red light 100% of the time. If you are saying move with pressure, you're telling him, I want you to run a red light right now. And it's not fair that you teach him red light means stop, but I want you to disobey that, what we've taught you. Heel. Blaze. Heel. So notice I'm not pulling him to get going, right? I'm going to say heel, and we're going to start moving together. Give him a little pop there. Right, so now compared to where he was when he first started, where he was at the end of the leash, like yanking you to go where he wants to go. And he's a big, strong boy. I mean, he could, if he wanted to, he could have pulled me good. But I don't allow that right from the get-go. I start out by teaching them pops, and we only move when there's a loose leash. And if there is pressure on that leash, we're not going anywhere. So they learn to kind of respect the fact that if I want to move forward, I need to pay attention to my communication line. So dogs don't speak English. We don't speak bark. So we have to have this common line of communication where we can explain to him that I need you to focus, or I need you to calm down. And you have a way to do that without just using English. So as you can see, we haven't even left my car. We've just been going around in circles and just doing turns, and right? So you don't even have to go anywhere to tire him out. This is more tiring than taking him for a 2-mile walk in the way he used to do it before. This is way more tiring. We're still walking. We're still getting physical exercise, but I'm giving him a lot of mental stimulation right now too, which is what's going to tire him out even more. And to be honest, he tires out pretty quick mentally for a shepherd. It's not like he needs hours of work. You could take him for a good 30-minute heel, and he'll be nice. It's just, think about the more turns you do, every single time you make a turn, you're making him think, and you're making him a little bit more tired. You're also making him understand you need to pay attention more. It's like right now, he's too far ahead. See how I've popped a couple times and he's like, whatever? Then we're going to stop. Okay, so if I've said, hey, pay attention, and he's like, then we're going to stop. Then you need to calm down. If you can't pay attention, then you need to calm down. So notice I don't say SIT when we do this, right? Because we're not doing a sit-stay right now. See how he's whining? He's getting frustrated, right? So I also have a bag of high-value treats with me, hot dogs and some kibble, so that I have a way, to get his attention in a high distraction setting. And so now he knows, like, oh, cool, she's got good treats in her pocket too. So even though it's hard for him to focus, I also have another backup literally in my pocket. That's a really nice heel. Right there, he went ahead, so we turn. But don't pull him around a turn. If you choke up on this leash and you do this, when you make a turn and he's not paying attention, you're going to make him run a red light. You have to learn to keep this like that and give him a pop to say, hey, look, I'm over here, right? So he turned. If he doesn't pay attention, don't choke up. If you close your hand, see how he put his head down? Because there was pressure. So we have to leave this loose and say, focus. Come on, buddy. Good boy. Right? No pressure. Blaze. Pop. Blaze. Good boy. Blaze. Yes, good boy. Blaze. Yes. Yeah. Also notice I haven't said heel like 18 million times. So right now, see, straight. And if I were to try and make a left, see how he was wigging his head? All of those are signs that there's too much pressure on, right? If he's wigging his head, that means he can't even think through the pressure because it was so much. It is so much less pressure than you are expecting. A lot of people are like, they'll go like this and put all this heavy, see how even just that he moved? I'm talking when you do, okay. When I mean pressure, watch, I can do this with a pinky. Literally a pinky's worth of pressure got him to sit. Okay. Pinky. Release. Right? So it does not need to be heavy-handed. It should actually be the slightest little bit of pressure means I need you to calm down. Because think about that. If I teach him, you feel this much force means I want you to stop. Then when we're walking and he gets just a little ahead, he knows, see, he knows what that pressure means. And he didn't even go anywhere because he felt that little force, you know? So I'm talking light pressure. Pops are just that. Like, it's not some like crazy big, like snap the leash. You don't have to do all that. And when you do red lights, 1 or 2 fingers worth of pressure is all you need. Pressure on, pressure off. See, I was getting frustrated with all the stopping, you know? But if I just keep going in a straight line, that's not very much mental stimulation. So right now, see, he lost focus on me. He's like, I'm gonna focus on other things because she's just going in a straight line. What's the difference, right? What's there to pay attention to if we're just walking straight? You're just giving him all the power in that situation. So it's up to you to give him things to do and follow rather than him pulling you and you just saying, don't pull me, right? Well, if you don't want him to pull you, what do you want him to do? You want him to turn with you? Then make him turn with you. You want him to jog with you? Practice jogging with him. You want him to go really slow with you? Right? All of these, see how he's putting his head down? Again, because he put too much pressure on. Now, that's also going to be because of the transitional. Now, you can do all of this without the transitional on, but I highly recommend right now using it. He's not pawing at it. He's not annoyed by it. So I would highly recommend using it. All you're doing is adding pressure to the pressure points in his muzzle as well as the ones in his skull. And since he has such a fluff to his, just his neck in general, they'll stop listening to just the pressure here. And if you're not constant enough with it being just there, he's going to not be as reliant with it. So especially if you're going to be in a new setting, I would highly recommend using the transitional. If you're going to go on walks, use the transitional for right now. If you're just giving him some free time and you don't care about him being in this nice, perfect heel where it's a structured walk and you are working on something, then you can use his long line, Then you can use his long line to give him freedom and just put that on him, but still no pulling. He's still not allowed to yank you. See, he's just going a little too fast. And use my knee and be kind of like, forceful about it that you have to pay attention. But again, my car's only there, so we haven't gone very far. Usually I walk, all the way around this loop. But again, it doesn't matter how far you go. It's about the quality of the steps, not the quantity. And we've actually gone far. We've just, done a lot of looping. And after a few minutes of this, if you're very structured with it and you're like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, he's going to calm down. One, he's going to understand that he needs to follow directions because he wants to keep moving. And you're going to have an easier time each time you do it, because he's going to start to realize that this is a pattern and this is what we do on a daily basis. So just remember, the more you make him do right now, the better he's going to be later on. You're also working on your handling skills right now. So the more you practice, the better you're going to get with this. Because although it looks very easy, I have a lot of clients be like, you make it look so easy. And I guess to me, just because I've done this for so long, it's like so easy for me to just learn how to not use pressure. Is a very odd thing when you had a dog that was a big puller before, to learn to have zero pressure now. It's a change for you as a handler. So you have to learn how to do things a little bit differently. You have to learn how to, instead of choking up on your leash and pulling him, using pops to say, pay attention to me. Lace, good boy. Right. So he turned with me that time. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Right, this is all great. He looks perfect. We've been going for what? 16 minutes, so a little less than 20 minutes. Because we started, maybe 2 minutes before I hit record. And this is beautiful, right? He's focused, he's following me. He's still allowed to be a dog and like check things out, but he's focused enough on me that he realizes where I'm going. He's following my pace. I'm not trying to follow his. If he speeds up, don't try to speed up and get past him. Don't be like, oh, you're going faster? Oh, see, now we're just going to be playing a game. If he speeds up, it's actually harder for him for you to go like this and start walking really slow. It also helps you as a handler realize how quick he gets ahead of you, right? So if you're walking this slow, see how difficult this is for him? So again, more than a couple pops, we're going to make him stop then. Then you have to pay attention. Yo. Right, so if we go really slow, look how fast he gets ahead of you. So even though he's going your pace, doesn't mean he's paying attention. So you have to really focus on that, right? Yo. So I'm just going to go really slow. See, he's already gone. Yeah. Blaze. Okay, I'm going to turn. No pulling. No pulling. Blaze. Good. Blaze. Blaze. Right, so this is healing. So right there, he's a little ahead. We're going to make him stop. This is healing, right? That is like what you want like a good shepherd to be. And if you keep doing this with him, he's going to look fantastic. He's still young. So the more you keep practicing with him, the easier this is going to get for him. And it's just going to be, he's just going to be the sweetest. He really is such a good boy. But yeah, all in all, he's doing great. Like I said, mouthing is way better. He's doing much better as far as his hips go and everything. Okay. Really working on impulse control is going to be his biggest thing. So impulse control is going to be him wanting to do things without thinking them through first. He is not jumping. You don't have to worry about jumping. At least I did not have to. He's not jumping on me or anybody that I've had him meet or anything. But things like, let me think, for instance, with you specifically, Mr. Man. So like door bolting would be one where you want to make sure you're practicing having him basically do a sit stay at the door, and the door is a distraction through the stay part. So really anything you want him to do for a stay command would be impulse control. Placing would be another one, trying to break place. So if he's on his bed and he goes to break before you say okay and release him, that's impulse control. So working on placing and staying and adding distance, duration, and distractions is going to be the best way for you to focus on that. You can also back tie him with his leash underneath a table leg or something like that, so that if he does break his place, you have time to get over there and use spatial pressure to get him back onto it or replace him before he gets so far away that you've just totally lost the command and you have to start over. So I could go on and on, but we will wrap it up for right now as far as this video goes. We're going to go to some stores throughout the week and make sure he does lots of good greeting skills and everything like that. So I will make sure I do videos for you for that as well. But if you have any questions before that, let me know. Otherwise, we will see you in a few days. Say bye, please.